Greetings! I'm Shad. That's right, check it out. The Shadiversity plushie is now available. It's available. Look at it. We got an official Shadiversity plushie. Look at this guy. This is a very accurate depiction. They're available for a very limited time, so you can get one or secure your one now on Makeship. Link in the description. And like, why would you not want a Shadiversity plushie? It's so cute. Check it. I don't know why. You look very handsome.
We're what you call professionals.
Greetings! I'm Shad, and we have something special today.
Well, we always have something special, but
That's
something a little bit more special.
Some might even say that we are special. And
Yes.
right on cue, we have...
Another special individual.
Thanks, man. I can't see out of this thing. Like it's...
Is
yeah, it is.
What?
That's a girl's dress.
Yeah. What? Fashionable.
okay, all right.
It's fashionable. It's not cross-dressing, and even if it was, there's no problem with that. It's fine.
All right.
Men did wear masculine dresses in the medieval period.
Yes. Today we are looking at a hidden blade, the Assassin's Creed hidden blade, to be specific. And I have thoughts on it. I'm sure you have thoughts on it. Nate has a girl's dress on. So we are ready for the races.
Ready to go. So
How do you like walk around like this and not bump into, or is that the point of that?
oh, you mean because in Assassin's Creed it's always covering his eyes?
Yeah.
Hoods are not the most productive, beneficial thing for combat.
Maybe it's the hair. It gives it lift, so it actually lifts it up just a touch more.
Maybe. So I have done a video on the Assassin's Creed, but we've not done with a pretty authentic replica.
Now, this is actually pretty authentic in more ways than one, because look at this blade. No, I want you to have a look at that blade.
I'm looking at this blade.
That's a very thick blade.
That's a thick boy.
And those angles are not very conducive to a lot of things. Now that is accurate. That's actually accurate. It has a very thick, but thicker than like swords.
Does this actually spring out?
No.
Actually, something I like about this particular version that you made is when you put it on, it is perfectly hidden.
So it's pretty accurate to a lot of the blade dimensions. It's actually a little bit thinner than the official replica. So it's even thicker than that.
Yes.
But this one here we can use and actually thrust and test for the most part.
Now, you made this.
I did make this on my brand new channel. I made a brand new channel where I am making and putting some things to the test, giving my thoughts on them, and this is it's my first video. There will be a link in the description and in the pinned comment. If you want to check it out, I would appreciate the support. It would mean a lot to me. But let's get back to the video.
So, the contention that I have had with the Assassin's Creed wrist dagger?
Hidden blade.
Hidden blade.
Yeah.
Hidden blade, yes. Because it's hidden, you get it?
But it's on the wrist.
It's hidden though.
It's more on the forearm.
Hidden wrist dagger.
It's more on the forearm than the wrist.
Is it better than a standard dagger?
No. Sorry, I shouldn't spoil the video. No, stop it.
We haven't got there yet, so we don't actually know.
Well, okay, let's have some caveats first off.
Right.
There are lots of different hidden blades, different blade profiles in different orientations. The one under the wrist, I'm not the biggest fan of. However, in some of the more recent games, it is actually on the top, which is a bit more realistic because you have your fist now. Now it's basically a punch.
It's not as well hidden.
It isn't.
And,
that is accurate.
And it's harder to like get greater, because like maybe to get
this is out of the way. When your hands are resting, they naturally rest inwards, which is in the way of the blade.
Can we point out one of the dumbest things in Assassin's Creed?
Go for it. Yeah.
I mean,
Why? It's not like, oh no, I can't raise my wrist to get it out of the way.
It's like the
of
first
the
guy made
blade.
a mistake.
Yeah.
Everyone's just following suit.
Now, in terms of something like the hidden blade, it's one of those weapons that I don't like, not because it's hidden, but because it's spring-loaded. I'm not a fan of spring-loaded weapons, and I'm not a fan of articulated weapons. I feel like I put them in the same category.
But that oddly might be one of the few redeeming elements of it.
Well, not really.
Well,
Because
okay, because with let's test it. Let's demonstrate. Let's go and demonstrate.
Okay, let's demonstrate.
Let's go. One of the kind of primary points of, I guess, validity for the spring-loaded dagger is its hidden ability to hiddenness that it springs out, and in canon it has enough force in that spring to do lethal damage.
Right. Okay.
And then go back in. from a resting position without holding the dagger in hand, how fast could I do this? If I'm trying to sneak up, you might not remember. If I'm trying to sneak up and I'm trying to be subtle and I'm like, and then like it's kind of obvious not me pulling the dagger out, but with like.
So I have a couple of points here. First up, it's spring-loaded, meaning either it has one or two options. One, it uses the force of the spring to actually, penetrate, which means what happens when you hit something that has more resistive force than string? It'll go in. However, what if it has a lock? Well, you're just creating a fixed blade at that point, so you might as well have a fixed blade.
Yeah, that's why I said in canon, it always works perfectly.
Yeah.
Mechanically in real life, having a spring powerful enough to always penetrate to lethal damage is actually not only difficult to make, super dangerous. Like if you accidentally set that off, that could shoot and launch for like easy 20-meter distance.
That's why I'm a bit more of a proponent of the on the top side, because there is
less
risk
chances
there,
of hitting.
but there's way less risk.
I'm thinking hidden-wise, if it was a locked blade, I really like the idea of it being on the inside of the hand, because as you're walking around, even on a locked blade, you don't see that.
This is where I have a criticism.
Around and then all of a sudden you have what you need, and I don't have a sword, I don't have a knife.
We're going to be getting to criticisms now, because that's like one of the few virtues of this thing. If you know more, please let them know in the comments, all right? I'm not trying to rag on this, I'm actually trying to think of all the things, right? Depth penetration is going to be something I will talk about and demonstrate with this prototype, this analog.
Well, it is a prototype, yeah, I would say it's a
Prototype.
This is one of those things why I brought up in the beginning, the blade itself, because it's very thick.
Yeah, and we can actually
relative
test.
to like this length. Usually if you pull out your dagger there, you look at that blade, it looks thick from this profile, but as soon as you look at it like that, it's way thinner, way more, it's optimized to actually do some damage. This, it wouldn't be good at slashing, and its thrusting capabilities, while it is reasonable, that's better.
All right, we'll get there. Can we kind of agree, though, that in terms of hidden attacks, that and especially when you need to draw the dagger to do it, right? This is just way more conspicuous. Where it's like, if you can see this, and like trying to, and then like you see it a lot more. But if you're just there and you're just like, ka-ching!
The caveat I have with that is that's a very large dagger. This isn't a very long blade for the most part. So just imagine this is a reasonably sized dagger. That's very easy to conceal.
Okay. What if you had it pre-concealed? Because you can, even this big one, you can conceal. And then suddenly, all right, we're back in the debate. What is the advantage of having this? So let me test. Like if I had it under arm, right? Now, to get a good upwards thrust, you do want to switch, okay? And so that switch can be problematic. You're there, you're just like, and then back. That was pretty subtle.
It was.
That was pretty subtle.
It was, but you can tell that you've got something in your hand.
A little bit, like how much so? Like, if I'm just like this and I was good,
that's very inconspicuous. You cannot see that, especially because remember, one of the whole mechanics of Assassin's Creed is literally going up to crowds of people and kind of walking slowly and blending in.
Especially if you're in a crowd of people. No, you're
look at this. And remember, you could have better made daggers. Even smaller to this length without a crossguard.
Do you want to grab a small dagger? We'll grab a small dagger, because that one's very big.
Look, I can't help that I have a big dagger. I'm sorry, it's just, it came, that's just what it is, all right? And when you have a big dagger, you just need to learn how to use it and deal with the fact that it's just so big.
Here you go, Shad.
You have a really small dagger there.
As you requested, I go and get for you. Yes.
So we're done talking about our daggers.
I own this one. This is my small dagger. I got big daggers. I got small daggers.
This one is a touch smaller, but the caveat I have for this is keep in mind. By the time you're past the hand.
True. This is a good point. Because my issue then is that does this have enough length to like reach the heart from the ribs?
Oh yeah.
Yes, from that side.
Very much
this
so.
side. No.
It's been shown that you need that much blade to be lethal. Like that much penetration.
Where? Because
it's a bit.
It depends. That's what I mean.
A couple of stabs to vital organs.
Okay, no, because
you will.
What we're trying to do here, the Assassin's Creed assassination is instant death to a couple of seconds of death.
So, in a lot of the clips where the assassinations take place is back of the neck, slice to the neck, through the back, or
all right.
straight in the chest.
So,
So it's
places
usually
you could get lethal with this. Yeah, if you could like jam that between, you know, the neck. Is it vertebrae? Yeah, I like
vertebra.
Vertebra. Yes. Slicing a throat, bit longer, but it could do the job.
Noisy.
If you could get chest stab right into the heart, yes, the heart is the key. If you can get a sideways thing into the heart, that'll do it. But a lot of the other internal organs, they'll live for a while.
Yes, so a lot of this area you'd live for a while. The heart would be pretty, well, obviously very quick, but very loud. Whereas into the lungs is going to be rather quiet. So these stabs into the back,
I mean,
are going to be
and by the way,
quiet.
lungs can be lethal, absolutely.
Absolutely, they can be, and
but
it's quiet in the lungs.
but it does take minutes to die from a lung puncture.
Yes, throat again is going to be quiet.
If
Vertebra, that's just gross. Thinking about getting
I'm
like.
talking about Assassin's Creed. I'm talking about
It's
assassination.
just- my mind is like doing the thing, and it's gross.
All right, so I want to test some stabbies with the little blade again. So first up, concealability. I mean, yeah, and you can have your hand at rest. It looks like I'm not holding anything, all right? And so if I was walking to someone and I just, okay, that to me seemed as convenient and quick as the wrist dagger.
Yeah.
Oh, that I'm trying to look for validity to give any possible use for the spring one over a regular dagger. Okay,
cool.
What about if the spring penetration is actually far greater in strength than what you could naturally produce? Because look, Boromir is thick. I'm having trouble getting in there.
That's a very good point.
What if the spring was just more guaranteed penetration in every instance and just like...
So here's the negative. What if it gets stuck? It's attached to your wrist and you can't remove it. If that gets stuck, you can just let go.
Oh, good point.
I make a couple of good points every now and then.
A couple. He does make a couple.
Wait, I don't have a sharp. You're good.
That is because I was going to say you could pull it out as I wonder if your grip strength you have better pulling out than if it was on the wrist. But the fact that you might want to let go.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, just while we're on Assassin's Creed, they go to all these other cultures, right, to try and shoehorn the Assassin's Creed culture in when there is one such obvious Assassin's Creed culture that fits so perfectly. The historical figure would fit so perfectly for an Assassin's Creed character. Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Robin Hood. But no, we're going to try and shoehorn Viking ninja assassins and Egyptian ninjas.
I kind of like the idea of Viking ninja assassins. Can we conglomerate that to one game? That'd be cool.
And also, okay, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, just while we're on the... Why can't you use a one-handed sword? I was ready to dive into it. No, there's no one-handed sword for the main character in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. What are you friggin' doing? So, we have it attached to my wrist. And already, the whole cutting off the finger thing, no. Because also, what if you just wrote... What if your wrist was a bit like that and the other finger is in the way and it's... Anyway. It's silly. Okay, but first, if you're sneaking up, I'm running into the same kind of thing I did when I tried to test just an attachment like this before. Angle of attack, right? To get more complex angles, especially like this, more difficult. You can, I could get on the back, but see how much I'm elevating my elbow? Contrast this with a dagger where you can be more subtle and kind of get something in.
Something also about it being attached to your forearm is when you have a shorter blade, if you want it to slash, now this is primarily a thrusting weapon, I will agree to this. However,
but what if you wanted to slash?
Yes, that has been done in the games. It is used to slash. With something like this, I might flick my wrist a little bit to get a bit more speed into it. With that, you're the wrist articulation gives such a wide range of motion, where with this, I'm limited by my elbow and forearm. And that is, and look how much I need to rotate to get angle, where with the wrist, it's just it's very easy.
So that's all right. But I do want to test a punch. I'm going in, and that's uncomfortable. It really, it hits back and digs in. So
this is a problem with your forearm, though. Your forearm is angled like that.
Yeah,
it's not a good attachment method.
But to your point, if this was on the back, it would be more comfortable because it wouldn't be digging into my arm. So. Okay, not too bad. I mean, penetration-wise, that would have hit the heart.
It is fairly robust as a thruster.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the slash, like it has no...
The angle is really...
Did you want to swap it over and try the other side?
The gambeson is actually affecting the results here. Because it's cushioned, it wasn't hurting as much when it was on my wrist, and because it was hitting my forearm, I was able to couch it and drive it in more. Now there's nothing bracing behind, and so I'm actually getting less penetrative force, because when I hit, it's pushing back. See like this? See like that? And so it's actually, this ricochet effect is absorbing a lot of the force.
One of the only downsides that I've found with this method is aim.
Aim?
Because it's on top of my forearm. If I go to throw a punch, right,
Yeah.
I'll hit with my punch, but the blade's offset. So I actually, if I'm hitting something like a smaller target, specifically,
All right.
a person's face should be
I'm gonna aim for the eye. I want to get it through the eye. Miss. Miss. Ooh, close. All right, so just going straight for the eye. Okay, first shot. Missed that one. Missed, but closer. Or that bounced off, but that hit. All right, so yeah, it's easy to aim with a conventional dagger thrust. Look, practice. A master, he would obviously, train enough, so aim wouldn't be an issue. Time it takes to get competent is something to consider, but all right, Tyranth.
But there's also the mechanical issues, like just
Yes.
inherent issues, not training, nothing like that, just problems with the design. Did you want to get up to some water bottles and stuff? Have some fun?
Don't you want to have a go at thrusting?
Well, I already know for the most part, like you can get in there, you can go, yes, in the game we do see some slashes, but generating that speed across there is very difficult. And because I made this blade accurate, which I did on purpose, it's not very good at slashing at all.
There's another really significant point. All right, angular momentum. All right, on a rotating lever, the further thing is away, the higher speed it's moving. All right, when you're thrusting with this, the angle is from the shoulder because you have to orient the blade in the direction of where you're stabbing. And so as a result, the speed you're generating is almost halved, because with a dagger, you can extend it out
And
like this.
And you can flick as well.
And
Yeah,
flick.
exactly.
And so
And
look at the rotation, like the angle that I'm able to move on compared to the wrist dagger, which it was
Well,
halved.
not even holding it like this and having good structure. Having like a very sharp little point and holding it out for a quick little flick, like the amount of extra speed I'm going to get with that extra point of articulation is going to beat that.
All right, one of the things that might validate the hidden dagger, maybe not, but okay, the stealth component. If you could really actually sneak up on someone and get...
That counts, right? That counts? He wasn't prepared for that.
I heard thingies. But okay, so we want to test that. We want to actually try and sneak up on us, Assassin's Creed style, to see if we... And we're going to try and distract the person we're sneaking up on to see if it could work. But that's going to be for exclusive content. So if you want to see us test the stealth component of the Assassin's Creed kind of style strategy, become a supporter, channel memberships, Patreon, player or subscribe star, $1 to $5 a month. That is literally what helps us be sustainable and keep going. And so the more people are able to sign up, really helps us out. But you also get not only this bit of exclusive content, heaps. One of my favorite is when we test how hard the lightsabers hit. They can hit hard, but you need to be a member to see that exclusive content. Thank you to everyone who's supporting us. Let's get back to testing the dagger.
That range is horrible. It's good at that.
Am I going too high?
We call this shaving the coconut.
It's like my eyes and arms are misaligned.
stomped. It is very satisfying, I will admit this.
Nearly every attack, I think you would get better results out of a dagger held conventional.
Yeah.
Now, I will acknowledge there's a version of this dagger that flicks out and then rotates and they can grab like a conventional dagger.
That's worse.
That's not the standard Assassin's Creed dagger what we're talking about here.
I feel like it's going in search of a solution to a problem that doesn't exist.
Yes.
It wins the rule of cool. It just doesn't
it's
happen.
basically an acknowledgement that holding a dagger in the conventional grip is superior.
Yeah.
And look, if that's the case, that means it has a very quick draw and quick
Which
sheathing
also
thing.
gives you an issue of fingies.
Yeah, but if it worked perfectly, right? If you could deploy a dagger automatically, can grab it conventionally, and then have it rotate and go back in. If you could get all the benefits of a dagger and have a quick coming out and in, okay, I could say
things like that in real history. You have spring-loaded guns that people used, and they are real little purse pistols.
Yes. That's not the same as a blade, though.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But I mean, how many people use a conventional firearm pistol compared to a little spring-loaded? People don't use them because there is.
Yes, but they're both ranged weapons.
Oh.
This is a close range weapon.
I know. I'm just saying that if you're putting articulation where it doesn't need to be.
So, most of my initial kind of analysis from my old video, not only being confirmed, you've raised additional problems from your own perspective.
Yeah.
There was something else that I noticed that I didn't like, which is that thing started to rotate a little the more and more you used it. Now, if you're used to being able to move your hand either out of the way, because the hand articulates quite well in that direction, not so well in the other direction, but if that rotates and you go to stab, especially on a spring blade, it's going to cut through a part of your hand or your thumb if it rotates.
There is potential for a lot of user-inflicted injury, but again, most people say, hey, if you're trained with it, you will just avoid it.
Keep in mind, this is a static one. We didn't even get to the spring-loading issues.
But imagine if it's...
But it falls off.
This is the thing. Even though you can say a master who's practiced with this wouldn't make those mistakes, it doesn't take away this criticism, because if a weapon has greater potential to harm the user than other weapons, even with a master, they could make mistakes. That is still a negative. And this is a criticism I have against nunchucks.
That's fair. And this is built not to be held like securely. It's built on a section of the forearm that triangulates down. So the bracing, unless it's like triple braced or something, is just going to slide off.
Now, there are some caveats to this. You could incorporate it into something like this, like completely incorporate it into it, but barring that, like using straps, it does have that downside where the more you use it, the more they flex, the more it just starts to slide.
Actually, there is one solution to all of this, which is to put a handle on the thing. But then it becomes a punching dagger.
Then just use a dagger.
No, I mean like a punching dagger. It has defense because it has sidebars, it has a handle, it's aligned with the mechanics of your body.
We might need to test it. But actually, I'm not saying it's going to be better than a regular knife, but I can see it'll be better than the Assassin's Creed one, because if you're couching it in your fist already, you have greater bracing to drive force in. And probably greater length as well. And yeah.
There's also just the other issues of speed and generating power, things like that. Where a fixed blade, honestly, just kind of wins.
There is another problem with the Assassin's Creed hidden dagger. If you walk around with this on your person, it's a dagger. You know, I need to cut open things, peel fruit, it's a utility item, and yeah, self-defense. If you walk around...
It fell down to your shame.
I can't reach it. If you walk around with this, and someone notices it, do you have an excuse like, this is not an assassin weapon that I have purely to kill... It's self-defense, I promise.
Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. It's like, you know.
You lost your skull.
Yeah, that's fine. That's just for decorations. But I think that pretty much sums up all our thoughts on this. If you want to check out my new channel, there'll be links down there.
And you don't want to forget the Shadowversity plushie available at Makeshift. They're a limited time. Link in the description. But thank you everyone for watching. Look, we love doing this. Sometimes it validates things, sometimes not so much. If you like it, we're glad you like it.
But in the meantime, there will be another video right here somewhere. And click on that, it'll be good. I'm sure you'll have fun over there.
Right there.
It's now an officially hidden blade because it's behind the video.
Check it out.
Kind of works.
Let's go.
I can't let